anybody wants to tell about what are general financial rules and why they are important for any organization? Anybody, any participant want to say something?
So general financial rules are always necessary for to run a government institution.
What are general financial rules actually?
General financial rules are framed by the government so that the controlling authority and all other subordinates may run their institution in a systematic way.
Okay. Anybody has any idea when it was first started or implemented general financial rules in India? When it was first issued in India? When it was first issued?
Maybe 1958, sir.
You are very close. It was first issued in 1947.
Okay.
But actually, it was not fully implemented. It was thoroughly revised in 1963. Even then, it was followed in few ministries, and not everybody is familiar with the GFRs. So it was thoroughly again revised, and it was implemented in most of the government institutions and all autonomous bodies from 2005. Subsequently, it was revised in 2017, and presently we are following General Financial Rule 2017. General Financial Rules are basically rules or compilation of rules issued by the Government of India to deal with all financial matters whenever you are dealing in the public money. Suppose we are dealing in our personal money, we are getting salary, we are free to use it in whatever manner we want. But we want, if we have to use the government money, then we have to follow certain rules, not only for transparency, but to ensure it has been properly utilized in the manner and for the purpose it was sanctioned. Government has issued general financial rules, and now it is mandatory for everybody, for all autonomous bodies or statutory bodies, ministries. Everybody has to follow general financial rules. It is mandatory for all institutions getting grant from Government of India. Presently, 2017 GFRs are in force, and total number of rules under GFR is 324. So, although it is not possible to discuss each and every rule, today I am going to discuss those rules which are more relevant and day-to-day useful in our institutions working. There are many rules which are not used in day-to-day working, but are used in the ministries but we discuss from the point of view of universities and academic institutions. So next slide. Next.
Yeah.
Rule 21 is the most fundamental rule of the GFRs. It talks about the financial proprietary. What it says every officer, whosoever is authorizing any expenditure from public money, should have to ensure that strict economy should be followed, and all rules and regulations are to be observed by not only his office, but by all his subordinate offices, subordinates, and all controlling units under him. So it is very, very important as per these fundamental rules. They have to exercise same kind of vigilance while incurring expenditure as they are incurring for their own purpose or from own money. Like we want to buy something like from our own salary. Suppose we want to buy an air condition. We will search online also on Flipkart, Amazon. When we will visit market also, we will visit some mall also. When we see what will get the best value for money, which is the best product, which is providing best guarantees to us, and which is at the best price. So the same vigilance the officer is expected to exercise while incurring any expenditure from the government money.
Sorry, I am interpreting you, sir. क्या नाम है? Voice is not clear, sir.
Voice is not clear.
Sir, voice is not clear. Sir, voice is not clear.
Hello. 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 I'm audible or still some issue? Yeah. I think internet is not.
Sir, now it is clear.
Now it is
It
clear.
is clear. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. And
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
sorry for disruption. I think there's some internet issue. So we are talking about Rule 21 of the General Financial Rule. This is the most fundamental rule of GFRs, which says previous slide only. Every officer who is incurring expenditure or sanctioning any expenditure from public money should be guided by the highest standard of financial propriety, and he should have to ensure that strict economy in the expenditure and that all relevant financial rules and regulations are followed not by his office but by his subordinate offices and the controlling units under him. It means they have to exercise the same vigilance while incurring expenditure while we are incurring our own expenditure. Second, then expenditure should not be more than the occasion demand. Suppose we want to buy an AC, we are searching online also. We visit some shops also, and we see what is the best price available in the market, how much guarantee and warranty is available. Only then we'll go for buying from our money. So same vigilance has to be exercised, and we see expenditure should not be more than the available market rates or the product available on the internet. Second, no expenditure should be incurred for the benefit of directly or indirectly for the benefit of the own officer or to a particular person or particular group of persons. It should be in the interest of the institution and for the general interest. It should not benefit the officer directly or indirectly. Second, another thing is that there should be an internal control mechanism in the institution. If there is any mistake or any if there any mistake in the proposal, it should be rectified and should be controlled before it is actually executed from the funds. So it is most important fundamental principle. One has to ensure proper economy. All rules and regulations has to be followed. Same vigilance has to be exercised by incurring expenditure as somebody is using his own money. Expenditure should not be more than what is occasion demands, and it should not benefit directly or indirectly to any particular officer or to any particular section of the institution. It should be for the benefit of the entire institution or the nation. Then Rule 22 talks about the expenditure on public fund. Again, it says no expenditure should be incurred unless it is sanctioned by the competent authority. Then who is the competent authority? It depends upon the delegation of the powers. Competent authority is not defined anywhere in the GFR because every institution can have its own delegation of authority. It may be some joint secretary, it can be an under secretary, it can be principal of a college, it can be chairperson of a governing body, or it can be a vice chancellor or pro vice chancellor or registrar of the particular institution. But no expenditure should be incurred, no money should be deposited, or no liability should be incurred for any expenditure unless it is sanctioned by a competent authority. Deposit भी नहीं कर सकते. You cannot invest the government monies unless it is approved by the competent authority. Like in case of university, it is the treasurer. So while investing any money, any surplus money from our funds, we should take the approval of the competent authority. In University of Delhi, we take the approval from the treasurer of the university. Next slide. Now, Rule 26. It is again one of the important rules from the point of view of responsibility of the controlling officer. What it says that no expenditure should exceed the budget allocation. Usually what happens, every year we allocate the budget to various departments and the various units of the university or any institution, then it is the most important responsibility of the controlling officer is to ensure that expenditure should not exceed the budget allocation. The expenditure should be incurred for the purpose for which the funds are allocated. It is not the fund has been allocated for repair and maintenance and it is used for entertainment or it is used for some other purpose. So expenditure has to be incurred for the purpose it has been allocated. Third, like I said previously also, the expenditure should be in the public interest. It is not for the benefit, direct or indirect benefit of any particular person or a particular group of person. Then there should be an adequate control mechanism in the department to prevent or detect errors and irregularities in the financial proceedings. So there has to be adequate control mechanism. It is very, very important. It can be in the form of anything, like it can be an internal audit department, or usually what happens, we ensure that no single transaction will be controlled by one person. Every transaction should route through 2 or 3 persons so that it can be detected at some point or other. If entire process is single-handed, then it is quite possible that you may incur some error or some irregularity might happen. So please ensure in banks also, it is always ensured that 2-3 persons are involved, not a single person clear the entire transaction from passing of bills to release of payment. So there has to be some adequate control mechanism. Next. Rule 42 talks about the financial year. Normally, if you are in not finance, then you must have heard the financial year. Everybody talks about financial year. So from where its financial is coming? It is again coming from the general financial rules. So financial rule of the government or government of India or any government institution commences on the 1st April of every each year and ends on the 31st March of the following financial year. So for current financial year, like 24-25 will end on the 31st of March, and next financial year 25-26 will commence from 1st April 25. Next. Period of accounts. Again, same thing. The annual accounts are prepared on the basis of financial year. So the government transactions are recorded, which are happened during 1st April to 31st March of the following financial year. So period of account is always a financial year, and it is always from 1st April to 31st of March. Next rule is Rule 86, which talks about public financial management system. For last several years, whosoever is working in finance department, must be handling PFMS. All payments, receipts, expenditure, everything has to be through public financial management system. Even now, government are releasing grant only in treasury system account of RBI TSA. We are not getting any grant from the government in our commercial bank. We are getting grant through TSA only. And that TSA can be utilized only through PFMS. It is not possible to make any transaction in TSA outside PFMS. There is no possibility of issuing any RTGS, any checks, any NIFT. So only public financial management system has to be followed, and it is now mandatory for last several years. So ministry is making control of all financial systems, and they are online checking everything. So it is through public financial management system, and it is very, very important in our day-to-day financial transactions. It is just like internet banking we are using, but government is monitoring how many transactions are happening daily, what is the volume, how much funds is available on the particular institution, how much grant is available. Suppose government has released 100 crore grant to a particular institution, they can instantly check how much is the fund on real-time basis is available to particular institution. So it is very important, not only from the point of institution, but from the ministry's point of view for controlling the expenditure and seeing the real time what is the funds availability in different institutions. Next. Now, chapter 6 is one of the most important chapter of general financial rules, and it talks about the procurement of goods and services. In day-to-day transactions, whenever we incur any expenditure, it has to be guided by some rule of general financial rules. So procurement goods is one of the most important thing. Whether you are buying any stationery, you are buying any spare parts, you are buying any furniture, equipment. rule 144 is one of the most fundamental principles, is about the fundamental principles of public buying. Like I'm saying, if any institution want to buy any goods, whether it's stationery, whether it's spare parts, whether equipment, whether your ACs, computers, anything, furniture, student desk, table, computer, they have to follow certain rules, and these rules are prescribed under general financial rules. Rule 44 is the fundamental, says about the fundamental principles of public buying. What policies you have to follow, how it will be more transparent, so that everybody who wants to participate in the bidding process, so they can participate. So rule 44 talks about the fundamental principle. What it says that whenever you are procuring anything, then description of the goods, it should be generic, functional, objective, and you cannot indicate a particular brand. Suppose you want to buy a computer, you cannot specify you want to buy only HP. You cannot say you want to buy only Intel or Dell. It has to be generic, so that all the manufacturer, all the bidders who want to participate in the bidding process, they can participate. Second thing, you have to specify the quality. It should be again generic. You have to specify the type of equipment. Suppose AC you want to buy, then you have to specify what is the capacity. It is 1.5 ton, 2 ton, 1 ton. Then it is split or it is window AC. Then quantity you have to specify very, very clearly. It is not you are not specifying any quantity and you are inviting bids for 1 AC and you are buying 10 AC, or you are inviting bid for 100 and you are buying only 10. Then it has to be very, very specific, and it has to be clearly spelled out in the bidding document. Then another thing is, you should not buy anything in excess of your actual requirement.
क्वेश्चन है, जैसे मान लिया आपने आपने 100 का कर दिया और 10 नहीं दे सकते, लेकिन कुछ तो परसेंटेज होगा, मतलब जब उसमें अप डाउन कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, बिल्कुल स्ट्रिक्ट तो नहीं है, कुछ वेरिएशन तो अलाउड है, लेकिन जितना टू दी एक्सटेंट पॉसिबल। जीएफआर देखिए, जीएफआर जितनी बात करता है वो एक आइडियल सिनेरियो की बात करता है। समटाइम इट इज पॉसिबल कि यू हैव गिवन टेंडर फॉर 100 बट you may not require actually time of 100, then you can buy 90, 95 also. But it is not against 100 you are buying 50 or 60 or 70, or you are buying 150. So to the extent possible, please make sure that neither you should buy in excess of what is your requirement. Second, neither it is too less or too high your requirement. So it has to be very, very specific.
जैसे हम टेंडर करेंगे तो हमें मेंशन करना पड़ेगा कि इतना हमारा
बिल्कुल हो सकता है, या तो फिर आप एक रेंज दे दीजिए कि you want to buy between 90 to 100, you want to buy between 40 to 50. अगर if you are not sure कि how much you will actually want to buy, then you give a range. Otherwise, it is always better to give a specific quantity, so that bidder can make your bids accordingly. Because it is always possible कि if quantity is high, then you will get a better rate, or there will be more competition, because more bidders will be interested in participating in the process when the quantity is large. Then tender should be invited in a fair and transparent manner. Again, the description or conditions should not be so restrictive that only few can participate. Sometimes we saw in tender document, the specification are designed such a way that a particular vendor can participate or a particular brand can participate. This is not wrong. This should not be done. Because only when this will higher competition, only then institution will get the better price. So it should be fair and transparent manner, and this description should be very, very clear and specific. Then it should meet the requirement. For whatever purpose you are buying it, make sure what you are inviting bids, it conforms to your requirement and it is actually usable. It is not just you are buying and then after procuring you will feel it is not for your use or for that particular use for which you want to buy. So it has to adequately meet all your requirements. Accordingly, you bid. Then the bid you are selecting, price should be reasonable and as per prevailing market price. It is not that you are just buying it. It is quite possible that all the bids will be much higher than the market price. Then you should not buy. You can totally free to read all the bids, even if your requirement is met out technically. Every bid is responsible. But if you feel the price is not reasonable, it is higher than the market price, then institution is free to cancel the bid and again go for retendering. Next, please. Next. Next. Now, Rule 149, Government e-marketplace. This is the most important rule for procurement of goods. It talks about the procedure to be followed while you are procuring any goods or services. What it says, if you are buying any goods or services, then it is mandatory for the institution to purchase that particular good or service from JAM only. JAM is a government e-marketplace. It's just like Amazon or Flipkart we are doing for our personal things. This is government e-marketplace is an online marketplace maintained by DGS&D for procurement of goods and services by the government institution. As per Rule 149, it is mandatory to buy all goods and services which are available on the JAM. There is no other option. If something is available in JAM, then only option is to buy from JAM only. Buy to a great extent. Now up to 50. Yeah.
सर मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था, जेम कहता है कि हमें जेम से ही पहले प्रेफर करना है कि प्रोडक्ट को खरीदा जाए। जो ई प्रोक्योरमेंट पोर्टल्स होते हैं जीएनसीटी दिल्ली का, क्या हम वहां से अगर कोई गुड्स या सर्विस मतलब एंगेज करना चाहते हैं तो वो आउट ऑफ द रूल तो नहीं होगा?
अगर जैम पे अवेलेबल है तो आपको सिर्फ जैम से लेना है, आपके पास कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं है। आप सीपीवी
पार्टिसिपेंट की आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपने माइक को म्यूट रखें।
जी सर, मैं वही पूछ रहा था कि अगर ई प्रोक्योरमेंट पोर्टल से हम लेते हैं तो पहले हमें नॉन अवेलेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट निकालना होगा जैम से?
अगर हाँ जी बिल्कुल, अगर हम उस पे आ रहे हैं, अभी मैं आता हूँ। पहले अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं 149 की जो जैम का है। अगर जैम पे वो प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस अवेलेबल है तो जैम से ही परचेज करना है। अगर जैम पे अवेलेबल नहीं है तो आपको पहले जैम से एक नॉन अवेलेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट लेना पड़ेगा, और उसके बाद जो दूसरे रूल्स हैं जिसमें प्रिस्क्राइब की गई है लिमिट्स कि आपको क्या कौन सा प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना है। सपोज जैम पे प्रोडक्ट अवेलेबल नहीं है, अब आप कैसे परचेज करेंगे? क्या उसके लिए कोई रूल है कि हमें कितनी क्वांटिटी कितनी अमाउंट तक का हमें कैसे परचेज करना है, वो आप कैसे करेंगे? तो वो अभी हम सब्सिक्वेंट रूल्स जो है उसमें आएंगे। अभी रूल 149 कहता है कि अगर जैम पे अवेलेबल है देन ओनली ऑप्शन इज कि टू परचेज फ्रॉम जैम up to 50,000 rupees. If the value of goods is up to 50,000 rupees, you can buy from any available supplier on the JAM. There is no restriction, you can choose any buyer. But if the value of goods is above 50,000 and is up to 10 lakh rupees, then you can go for comparison method, in which you have to compare the prices of at least 3 different manufacturers on JAM, and then you can buy from the least one who's offering the lowest price. But the only condition is you have to compare the prices of at least 3 different manufacturers on JAM. Like I give example of computer. So you have to compare the prices of 3 different manufacturers. For example, we can say Dell, HP, or some other third company. So whosoever is offering the lowest price, we have to purchase from that particular vendor if the estimated value of our procurement is between above 50,000 up to 10 lakh rupees. If the estimated value is about 10 lakh rupees, then we have to go for bidding. JAM also allows the bidding, like on e-portals we go for bidding. Similarly, JAM also allow us to go for bidding. Even below 10 lakh also, if we feel the price is not reasonable, even then we can also go for bidding, even if the price is less than 10 lakh rupees. But above 10 lakh rupees, it is mandatory to obtain bids by online bidding and purchase the goods only from the L1 bidder. Next.
Manufacturer एक ही वोल्टास एसी अगर 3
नहीं तो वो अलाउड नहीं है। वो आप इस रूल में नहीं जा सकते जैम में, फिर इस पे नहीं जा सकते, फिर आपको बिडिंग पे जाना पड़ेगा। 3 डिफरेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स का है, इसलिए 3 डिफरेंट वेंडर नहीं कहा। रूल जो कहता है वो 3 डिफरेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर कहता है। अगर आप एक ही वोल्टास कंपनी की आप 3 डीलर ले लोगे तो वो अलाउड नहीं है जैम पे। 50,000 से अगर ऊपर है फिर आपको बिडिंग में जाना पड़ेगा। अगर आप कह रहे हो कि अवेलेबल ही नहीं है, वहां पे जितने आपको सप्लायर दिख रहे हैं वो सप्लायर सिर्फ वोल्टास का ही एसी में सपोज ऑफर कर रहे हैं, या वोल्टास का ही वाटर कूलर ऑफर कर रहे हैं, और आपकी एस्टिमेटेड वैल्यू 50,000 से ऊपर है, तो आप उस कंपैरिजन मेथड पे नहीं जा सकते, फिर आपको मैंडेटरीली बिड कॉल करनी पड़ेगी।
वोल्टास 50,000 में दे रहा है, एक दे रहा है 45,000 में, तो हम नहीं कर सकते कि 45,000।
अगर आप एक ही क्वांटिटी, अगर आपकी टोटल वैल्यू 50,000 से कम है तो आप फ्री हैं, आप किसी से भी चाहें कोई भी ब्रांड खरीद सकते हैं, कोई ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं कर रहा आपको। अगर आप मान लो 2 एसी खरीद रहे हो और उसकी वैल्यू 50,000 से ऊपर हो गई तो आपको कंपैरिजन में जाना पड़ेगा, तो आपको मिनिमम 3 डिफरेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स चाहिए। अगर टोटल वैल्यू 50,000 से कम है, आप किसी से भी खरीद सकते हो, कोई आपको ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं कर रहा, ना आपको ऑडिट कुछ कह रहा है, ना आपको जीएफआर भी मना कर रहे हैं। तो अगर टोटल वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स इज लेस देन 50,000, यू आर फ्री to buy from any available supplier. But if it is above 50,000, then you have to follow the procedure, either comparison method, in which at least you have to compare the prices of 3 different manufacturers. If it is above 10 lakh rupees, then it is mandatory for you to go for bidding. Now it says these ceilings, whatever we have discussed, 50,000, 10 lakhs and above 10 lakhs, it is only for the purpose of buying from GEM. If some product or service is not available in GEM, then other rules will be applicable. We will discuss subsequently. Another important thing which we'll usually see, what happens because up to 50,000 institution is free to buy from any vendor. Institution, what did they break the quantity of the total quantity into different orders, and they will buy from any vendor just to avoid the bidding process or just to avoid the comparison method. This is again wrong. You should not divide the quantity into small orders just to avoid comparison method or to avoid biddings. So this is wrong. If your total value is above 50,000, then definitely you have to go for either comparison method or you have to obtain bids.
सर टाइम पीरियड भी होता है कि अगर हमने
इसमें टाइम पीरियड ऐसे कोई डिफाइन नहीं है, लेकिन इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द नेचर ऑफ गुड्स। अगर आप सपोज आप कोई कुछ भी चीज परचेज कर रहे हैं, मान लीजिए स्टेशनरी परचेज कर रहे हैं, तो नॉन पेरिशेबल आइटम भी है और आपको पता है कि आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट क्या होती है। इट डिपेंड्स आपके यूसेज क्या है, आइटम पेरिशेबल है या नहीं है, उसकी वैल्यू कितनी है और उसकी प्रिक्योरमेंट में हमें कितना टाइम लगता है। सपोज मुझे पेन परचेज करना है, मुझे पता है जेम पे अवेलेबल है, मैं आज ऑर्डर करता हूँ, कंपैरिजन में मैं 50,000 से कम के ऑर्डर करूंगा, मैं इमीडिएटली जेम पे ऑर्डर प्लेस करता हूँ, ऐसा कर सकता हूँ आज ही की डेट में, और 2 दिन के अंदर डिलीवरी हो सकती है। तो मेरे लिए 1 महीने 2 महीने की इन्वेंटरी भी बहुत है, मैं 2 महीने 3 महीने बाद फिर किसी को ऑर्डर दे सकता हूँ। अगर मैं वही चीज अगर मैं कंप्यूटर परचेज कर रहा हूँ, मैं देख रहा हूँ मुझे उसकी स्पेसिफिकेशन मंगानी है, मुझे टेक्निकल बिट्स मंगानी है, फाइनेंशियल बिट कॉल करनी है, और मुझे उसकी डिलीवरी में 1 महीने 2 महीने लग रहा है, तो ऑब्वियसली मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि कम से कम 6 महीने की या 1 साल की रिक्वायरमेंट में एक साथ परचेज कर लूँ कंप्यूटर्स की। तो इसमें डिफाइन नहीं है कि कितनी रीजनेबल क्वांटिटी है जो आपको स्प्लिट नहीं करनी, लेकिन ये डिपेंड करती है आपकी यूसेज पे, आपकी वैल्यू पे टोटल, और आपकी क्वांटिटी आपको कितनी हर साल यूज होती है, वो रिकरिंग आइटम है, कैपिटल आइटम है, तो ये इन सब चीजों पे डिपेंड करती है। तो उसी हिसाब से वो डिसीजन आपको लेना होता है। लेकिन ये जीएफआर में डिफाइन नहीं है कि आपको कितने पीरियड का आपको एक सिंगल ऑर्डर बनाना है या सिंगल क्वांटिटी आपको परचेज करनी है। आप अपने एक्सपीरियंस से, अपने यूसेज को देखते हुए, प्राइस वैल्यू देखते हुए, और ये देखते हुए आइटम कैसी है, पेरिशेबल तो नहीं है, खराब तो नहीं है। ऐसी सपोज हम आंसर शीट के लिए पेपर परचेज कर रहे हैं, आंसर शीट परचेज कर रहे हैं, तो मुझे पता है मेरे अगर सेमेस्टर वाइज एग्जाम हो रहे हैं तो मुझे 6 महीने की मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट कितनी है, आप उसी हिसाब से ऑर्डर दे सकते हैं। अगर मुझे लगता है कि स्टोरेज की मेरे पास स्पेस नहीं है, स्टोरेज में मुझे परेशानी है, तो मैं 1 साल या 2 साल की आंसर शीट तो परचेज करके नहीं रख सकता, क्योंकि आपको स्टोरेज की भी प्रॉब्लम है, फिर इन्वेंट्री कॉस्ट भी है। हमने पहले भी कहा था कि जितनी